in front of him.
I don't think you did.
It's very committal to get involved.
I got 60.
Very committal to get involved.
Cool. I'll put the sound effect in.
Oh,
There you go.
hang on.
Yeah.
Might put the brakes on Cara though.
We ain't come.
I don't think
Yeah,
so.
got
It
60.
could. Yeah, it could. I think he took a kind of a long time with that call. I think she'll feel like he could have a jack with a lower kicker, perhaps.
Possibly.
You know, hers
I
plays.
think she'll know he hasn't got a king. That's for certain. He would have perhaps called a bit quicker than he did. So I think Cara will correctly identify she's probably in front. Having said that, she doesn't know her customer well enough to know how he plays, but the indecision that Chris Kamara is showing.
She hasn't taken her eyes off him. He must feel like there's a hole being bored in his head. I think she's raising here. I just have this feeling.
Well, it's an interesting bet, isn't it? It's asked the question that she perhaps wasn't expecting. She was expecting a check.
Cool.
Damage limitation in some respects. It's a tough one to raise there. She'll like that card, I'm sure. She may just call this down.
Yeah, I guess she's thinking, well, if he is bluffing, then perhaps I can get him, we can bet more in
What
the
about
river.
the
I guess.
all-in, though? What about the all-in? What does that do?
100.
100.
I think that's going to be called. It's too cheap. Too cheap to get away from.
Well, if she runs through the hands that are beating her, obviously any king, the straight, there's no weird two pair that have got there because of the paired board on the kings.
She may be reading a bit too much into this for her own good, but I think she's got to call it.
Yeah, I mean, in her mind,
She probably thinks she's beaten.
does
but
she think that Chris is just not a bluffer?
You thought for so long to call the bet on the flop, so you can't have.
I think she's correctly identified. She's going to
Can't
call.
have
She
ace
just
six.
doesn't want to
You thought
call.
for so long on the flop to call the bet.
She's trying to justify
I don't
it.
think you'd have thought that long for a king either.
No, correct.
Unless you thought maybe I had ace queen.
Can you let us know when you can do another one just so we can watch?
I don't know if you'd bluff that
You
though.
didn't on call.
You just bet it again. Oh.
Yeah, she doesn't reckon that Chris is a bluffer,
There's a
and
game going on.
that could be the deciding factor.
Steve, what are the percentages here?
Oh my gosh.
I never spoke to me.
Really?
It's a tough follow. What if he has Jack 9
Thing
or
is,
Jack 8? I mean,
but I'm being beat by so much, but
I think
She's gonna call.
do you know, it's tough. Yeah, we can see the cards.
maybe she's thinking if he had a lower Jack, he'd be willing to check it down.
Speak for yourself.
I wonder if Chris is giving anything away
I
with
don't think
his...
you have this straight.
This is all a bluff. She's going to come in with a big 500.
He hasn't looked at her once.
No, I'm gonna call. Cool. Do you have the king?
No.
Do you have the ace queen?
No.
Thank God.
10's full.
That quiet.
Would be a fun hand to turn over now.
I paid for it. What do you have?
The car has got back
Thank
up
you.
to even, and did
Thank
she
you.
stick a little knife in the ribs of Chris Kamara there?
Well, I just didn't feel like he had the
I thought
better
you
hand.
were thinking about
I think there's going to be a lot of pride at stake here. Now, I know a couple of the other guys at the table because I've actually had them on my show as guests, as poker guests. So we were, doing a bit of smack talk, and they think they can beat me. I think I can beat them. We'll see. We'll see.
Glad I made it.
Big queen.
I'm not telling you, but it was horrific. Honestly.
Not cold.
Cool.
Rod there with the 3-4 diamonds with only 380 in front of him.
Cool.
It's getting very desperate now for Rod. He's just hoping to hit something. And there's Alamat Nally with another massive hand. How many hands has he had?
He looks like one of those guys at the craps table, he's just sort of always counting, everything's going his way. Yeah, I'll have a little of that. Yeah, I'll have a bet on that. Yeah, give me one of those.
But for all those good hands that
I know,
Alan
right?
McNally's had, he's only got 1,180. Yeah, well,
It seems weird,
It's a
doesn't it?
cruel game in some respects. Rod Harrington's got a chance to be involved in this.
Check.
Fractionally.
Check.
He's drawing with whether he gets to see the
60.
turn card is another
60.
matter.
Oh yeah, give him a deuce in the belly. Sometimes you gotta go for these belly deuces. I mean, he has to, if he wants the 6th out, You're shaking your head.
I can't call that, surely. You want to, well, okay, yeah, well.
I don't know. You know, he's...
Could be the end of his. He could have been walking out the door. Who wants to walk out the door first?
I'll give you my money, you know.
Okay, that's nice of you.
I'll give it to you.
Sometimes
I
you
give
just
you
got to say...
If you
It's
get
the least I can do.
I mean,
That sounded like a Willie Thorne commentary line you just come out. Basically, you're trying to get the game over as quick as possible
No.
so you can go down and have a nice meal in the restaurant and a bottle of wine.
100.
100.
Lovely card, the 5.
there comes a point
In one
where you
respect.
kind of say to yourself, you know, there's only one winner here. You know,
And it's not
the
me.
upside,
Let's see, yeah.
the upside is so much
Yeah.
better than the downside. Whether or not Rod has 300 pounds in front of him or 260 pounds,
This is a,
it's tough.
well, okay.
What's
well,
going on
Andy
here?
Goldstein's doing the same. What do you
Fine,
advocated
others.
Rod should do?
I think they've all
Well,
gone
Andy
on
Goldstein's got a lot more money.
Well, I know, but he's
I
still.
think he should have passed, don't
Yeah,
you?
of course, yes. But I was saying, in Rod's looking and thinking, I can
Yeah.
still stay in the game. I'm
Called it.
desperate to stay in the game. I know it's
Yeah.
different
Put
amounts of
more in.
money, but
No, that was
this would
I don't know.
I'm literally
be
throwing it away now.
considered an awful
just so
call.
wealthy.
And the fact he's done it means it's an awful call. Doesn't look so good now, does it, for Andy? Now he's wondering where he's going to go. Is he going to bluff at it? Doesn't look like he's going to bluff at it. Wouldn't be the right spot, would it? I don't think it would be anyway.
No, Alan's got aces full, doesn't he?
Check.
Check.
All in.
All in.
I think that sorted that one out.
Nope. Nothing.
I'll see it when it comes on the TV.
Absolutely nothing.
That nothing was better than mine though.
Nothing. You'll see it when it comes on the
If the
telly.
king would have popped up, I would have seen it there.
Some of our presenters have already missed their cues. The pressure is on for this mob as the moolah flows. It's all or nothing as we notch up a gear after this.
Agnes has been a bit quiet recently. Will she get busy with the ace-5? Are they 50?
Cool.
Oh, they were 50s for a minute.
Plus.
I wonder if the other players have sussed her out yet. I mean,
Cool.
when you think about that ace-deuce she played earlier, everybody put her on about 6 of a kind there. You know, she showed those 3 queens the full house early, and nobody thinks she's capable of anything but tight play right now.
I think they're very respectful, and she's hit 2 pair here.
Oh my, is Andy Goldstein in?
Yeah, I think this could be curtains.
Yeah, this is
This
Bruceville.
could be curtains.
100.
Although,
100.
well, Goldstein's got 1,100 in front of him, so he can get away from walking out the door. Or can he? It's a big hand.
He's got the ace of diamonds as well. So, I mean, I don't know.
What's the raise going to be to? Perhaps to 300?
He may go all in.
Raise to 200.
He's going to have to really think about this.
It's a minimum raise. He's got a lot more interest in this hand than he's had
I'll
before.
see you.
Cool.
Obviously got outs as well.
It's a nice call he's made. I'll see what happens on the turn. Don't know exactly what's in his head. He's definitely a little bit scared. You would be, wouldn't you?
Well, he's only got top pair. Still only got top pair.
He might try and bet again with the intention of folding if he gets raised.
That's
He's done that
300.
before, hasn't he?
300.
This is
That's a big bet.
it is a big bet, yes. I shouldn't think Agnieszka's absolutely enamoured with that bet. But if she can correctly identify,
She could call or she could raise.
it could be curtains.
I think she's raising. She's aggressive.
She's got to raise really, but you know, she may be forgiven for just calling.
I mean, Andy does have outs at this stage, as it turns out.
As we know, possibly
Yeah.
calling could get all more money in, but
A 10 or a queen for the win and an 8 for a split, as far as Andy's concerned.
it's looking good for
Bad
Agnieszka at the
action.
moment.
Sure that weren't mine?
In a way, it's turned into a milking proposition. Gold top is available. Oh, I think
Yeah,
that's
imagine,
probably sealed Andy Goldstein's fate. There's no way he's going to get away from that. No way.
All into.
Yeah, he could either walk to the door or run.